Good luck.
Yep. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Woke Ass Wednesdays. We're gonna be talking about the Queers for Palestine protests that have been going on, and how Palestinian people really feel about that. It's interesting, and I mean it's to be expected on all of it. So we'll just start getting into that right now and seeing what we got.
Time for our What Were They Thinking segment. Pride Parade was brought to a halt in Philly on Sunday by an angry group of counter-protesters. But it wasn't the kind of folks you might think. It was left-wing Free Palestine demonstrators who crashed and clashed with the parade, shouting things like "No Pride."
Alright, and I want to stop it there too because there was a sign that says "No Pride in Genocide." And it's really funny because that
To eradicate a whole other group of people
yes,
so that they can have their people be better.
exactly.
It's like you saw Pride with Hitler's regime.
Yes.
So yeah, it is pretty prideful.
Thinking that they are better. The Nazis always thought that they were better.
So you got these sort of two left-wing groups, sort of a left-wing civil war. The protesters were with the group Queers for Palestine Philadelphia, which posted a, quote, anti-pride statement on their Instagram account calling for, kid you not, a queer intifada against, quote, colonizers and capitalists, and saying they reject all celebrations of pride if they are not grounded in the struggle to end genocide. So you have Pride Month, kicking off with a parade celebration, etc., made possible by Western values. It's one left-wing group mocking another. And by the way,
Do you see what the little caption is?
the one group comparing Israel and the Pride Parade to the KKK. You know what they forget, of course, is if Israel was wiped off the map in the region, there wouldn't be any Pride Parades anymore. You know, because the Middle East, the rest of them, they don't have pride parades. You can't do that. Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find news.
Yes, and he is correct because Israel is one of the only places that actually has a pride parade
Yeah.
for any of them.
Yeah, they have a pretty big celebration actually, and I should have included that because they just had a really big one just the other day, I think.
Yeah, we just saw one on like LA's full pride parade too.
I remember, but I was looking specifically
Yeah, I know.
in Israel. I think it was Tel Aviv Pride 2024.
All right, we'll continue on this, and then when she finds it, we'll.
On your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
You can still add them on
Yeah.
to the bottom.
جماعة في العالم اسم بتدعم المثليين في فلسطين، ايش رايك فيهم؟ Yeah, against that, totally. Why? ليش؟ Why don't you need the support? مجتمعنا صح شوي. هو عشان نكون واضح أكثر، هو بدعم المثليين برضه من ناحية سياسية، يعني بدعم فلسطين كقضية. بدعم بنفس الوقت بدعم فلسطين كقضية. He said our society is against that in general.
Being gay, just being gay,
yeah.
It's good that there's people like this who support the Palestinian case, but at the same time, it's like they are aware of like that these people will like damage the Palestinian reputation.
Well, how do they How did he damage the reputation?
If they
Palestine is unacceptable.
فلسطين مش مقبول نهائيا.
It's very unacceptable.
ما بنستقبل هذه يعني مثل هاي الحالات بنحاول.
We don't like that, and we are.
Completely against any form of sexuality, and really sexuality in general, right out in.
Yeah, they're not really a big fan of any kind of like public displays of sexuality or anything, but it's Islamic culture, and they say you can't even come back from it. It was like once you
Yeah, we just saw something on that, and they said
dipped your toes in it.
Yeah, they said the gay guys, even if they realize what they've done,
And try to ask for forgiveness.
and try to ask for forgiveness, cry, try to repent, they can't. There's no coming back from it. They said once it's done, it's done.
Yeah, so it's not like Christianity where you can just turn away from it and be forgiven and everything. It's like a much more serious deal for them. So that's like, I guess, why they're so against it, because it's like they're taking pride in making all these young men and women
Yeah,
sway from Allah forever.
exactly.
Against the Islam and the traditions and customs.
وعادة مش منيحة نهائيا يعني هاي.
It's not healthy.
حتى أولادنا يتعلموها.
Even our children to learn it from them.
Okay, now we get it, yes.
شايف انهم هذول مجموعة هذول هم بدعموا فلسطين، بدعموا الفلسطينيين والقضية الفلسطينية.
أول شيء إحنا بنتقبل الشعب الفلسطيني بنتقبل أي دعم.
First of all, the Palestinian people accepts any support.
بس دعم هيك لا.
But a support like this, no.
Oh, why not?
ليش لا؟
لأنه بعرف بس غلط الإشي.
Because I don't know, because it's just wrong.
Okay, like immoral meaning?
يعني غير أخلاقي، ليش غلط؟
الإشي اللي بيعملوه غير أخلاقي.
Because I think what they're doing is immoral and we do not need their support.
Being gay, that sort of thing.
لأنهم مثليين. Yes.
What queers for Palestine is to rational thinking and common sense.
Would you say you're pro-Palestine or pro-Israel? I would be punished and or put in prison or killed if I were openly gay in Palestine. Israel has gay pride. Israel is completely open to lesbian and gay people. Palestine puts them in prison or kills them. You weren't aware of that?
I was not aware of that, no.
Yes, dear, that does pose a rather interesting aspect if you happen to be a gay woke lefty who supports Palestine.
Have you seen the Queers for Palestine movement? It's a very common movement, but I don't see any Muslims for Queer movements.
Yes. That's where it gets gray, right? Like, that's where I feel
well,
like...
for me, it's not gray. I am fearful of Islam because there is no Islamic country on earth that embraces me as a gay man.
So, okay, so maybe I'm confused because Israel, which is still an Islam country, right?
No, Jewish.
Okay.
Whoa, hold the front page here. Jewish? Israel is Jewish? Oy gewalt, I had no idea.
Okay.
So Israel's Jewish, Palestinians are Islamic.
Okay.
So confused.
Oh, my head hurts. It's so confusing.
Exactly what the guy was saying. She is so confused there. She was like,
fries.
They don't even know what they are supporting.
No, they don't even know the geography of the land.
No. I mean, it's the most ridiculous thing.
Israel is Jewish, but Palestine is Islam. Oh, I don't know. It's just too hard.
Explain there is a group of gays, homosexuals, who support Palestine.
Okay.
What does he think?
مجموعة أجنبية بحكي لك إنه في مجموعة مثليين بيساندوا الفلسطينيين بدعموا الفلسطينيين مثليين يعني جاي اوكي بيحبوا أو بدعموا الفلسطينيين شو رأيك بهذا الموضوع؟
أنا ما فهمت مجموعة إيش
مثليين يعني جاي مجموعة هدول هم بدعموا فلسطين، بدعموا الفلسطينيين والقضية الفلسطينية.
أول شيء إحنا بنتقبل الشعب الفلسطيني بيتقبل أي دعم.
First of all, the Palestinian people accepts any support.
بس دعم هيك لا.
But a support like this, no.
Oh, why not?
ليش لا؟
لأنه بعرف بس غلط الإشي.
Because I don't know.
He's like, do I really have to answer this?
I know, it's like
He's like, you really want to know why I don't want to accept queers for Palestine support?
Yeah, I know. It's like they don't want to talk about it.
No.
It's like, just like even to talk about it, entertain the idea is like
Yes.
forbidden, you know.
Strong.
Okay, like immoral meaning?
يعني غير أخلاقي ليش غلط؟
الإشي اللي بيعملوه غير أخلاقي.
Because I believe
إحنا ما
what they're
بنحتاج
doing is immoral and you do not need their support.
Being gay, that sort of thing.
لأنهم مثليين. Yes.
Good to see you, Sancho.
There are gay people who support Palestine. What do you think?
لا قلت لهم فهمتش فعادل ليش نقول راح يمسح هذا
مش عارفه يعني انه يكون شخص جاي هذا شيء بخصه.
If you are gay, that's something up to you. She doesn't mind.
انك تدعم شيء فلسطين هذا شيء حلو إلنا. ما بهمنا اذا انت كنت جاي او
even if you are gay or not.
مش جاي.
That's good.
Okay, so you appreciate the support.
يعني تنبسط
Yes, of course. Okay. There is a group called Queers for Palestine. You know what gay people are?
No.
How do you say homosexual?
الثيرد في إشي يعني gay. I know. I have a master about community mental health.
Oh, okay. So you're a good person. So there's a group of gay people and lesbians who support Palestine and Palestinians. What do you think?
It's okay. It's their right. So they can decide what they want.
Are you happy to have their support?
I don't have anything against them.
But do you appreciate their support? You're like, yes, good. The gays love us.
It's okay.
Okay, fair enough.
في جماعة في العالم اسمها بتدعم المثليين في فلسطين، شو رأيك فيهم؟ Yeah, against that, totally.
Why? Why? Don't you need the support?
مجتمعنا صح شوي. هو عشان نكون واضح أكثر هو بدعم المثليين برضه من ناحية سياسية يعني بدعم فلسطين كقضية. بدعم بنفس الوقت بدعم فلسطين كقضية. He said our society is against that in general.
Being gay, just being gay.
Just being gay,
yeah. Okay, but what does he think of the fact that they support Palestine?
Yeah, it's not just against it. It's literally they get killed for being gay.
Yeah, they go over some of the persecution of that here coming up. And like I said, it's kind of an admirable thing to say that it's like I don't care if how they think of me, I still stand for them. I mean, that's kind of admirable, but you know, it's kind of stupid as well. There's like a lot of other places that you could be welcome.
Exactly.
So it's like, why do you got to interject yourself into a place that brings another culture shame?
I know. And I mean, we just talked about it. It's like Israel fully accept gays. And then you go to Palestine, and you know they can't accept it at all. They can't because of what it stands for.
Yeah, even if they wanted to.
Yeah.
There's just no way.
بالنسبة لأنهم بدعموا فلسطين بعيدا عن أنهم بدعموا ماشي بدعموا فلسطين كلنا بس إنه مجتمعنا وعاداتنا وتقاليدنا. But our society and the tradition customs هلا بعيدا عن الانفتاح are against that. Away from the open-minded culture they have, we're still against that, but thank them anyway.
Ask him, what do you think of gays for Palestine? So gay people who support Palestine.
في مجموعة بالغرب اسمها جاي لفلسطين أو يعني المثليين جنسيا لفلسطين هم الشباب اللي بنجذبوا للشباب والصبايا اللي بنجذبوا للصبايا بدعموا فلسطين جايز شو بتفكر عنها؟
أنا أي حد بدعم هاي القضية بغض النظر شو كان يعني ما بخلط موضوع الدعم هاي إشي وهاي إشي.
Anybody who support Palestine and who support the Palestinian case, you really accept him. The sexual identity or the identity in general has nothing to do with this. It's a different thing.
So, we're talking about gays in America who support Palestine.
عم نحكي عن الاشخاص المثليين جنسيا اللي هم بامريكا اللي بيدعموا فلسطين. هم مش فلسطينيين، هم امريكان جايز بيدعموا فلسطين. شو بتفكر عنه؟
يعني الشيء الصراحة انه منيح، يعني اذا هيك في ناس تدعم القضية الفلسطينية، بس كمان بنفس الوقت ما يسويش سمعة.
It's good that there's people like this to support the Palestinian case, but
yes, they are caught up more in their religious ways, which that's getting through everyday life and having a point to it.
Right.
So really a lot of the talking about the gays and stuff that really doesn't affect them, they kind of just shove off to the side.
Right. And it's like they asked, I remember seeing an interview with some Muslim ladies, and they were asking them about like trans, and they said, well, it's not accepted, but we'll still treat them with respect.
Yeah.
Like you still treat them like people, but it's like the practices are not accepted.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
But I mean, and I think in some of the other sections of their life, it could be a little bit more violent and dangerous because you find extremists everywhere.
Oh yeah, you do. Every single group has extremists, and I mean that's always gonna happen.
Yeah, I mean, racism here in America, it's like, you go from very small, offhand remarks from the locals all the way to some drastic things by the KKK.
Yeah.
So I mean, you'll find that everywhere. But
Exactly.
yeah, they're strict about it.
They are.
So it's like I said, I don't know why this movement has to interject itself into a place where they're just really not wanted or needed.
Well, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, why can't they just say that they support Israel right now?
Or just not support anybody.
Or not support anybody, yeah.
Right.
But I mean, if they want to do something and want to make a point, I mean, Israel actually allows them.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess it's because they're disagreeing with what the narrative is being spun about what's happening to the Palestinian people.
Yeah, so then don't say anything.
Right, so it's just best just to adopt a neutral stance.
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like they are aware of that these people will damage the Palestinian reputation.
Well, how do they damage the reputation?
بيشوه سمعة الفلسطينيين.
ممكن انه لبسهم او حكيهم مش.
Maybe because of the way they dress up or the way they speak, it's just not very good.
Okay. And then before he said something about Palestinian gays, what did he mean by that?
وقبل هيك حكيت شيء عن الاثنين جنسيين فلسطينيين، شو بتعني بهذا الشيء؟
يعني ما ينسبوش جنسيتهم لما يسيروا القضية الفلسطينية على الفلسطينيين، هذا اللي
So that they don't have to speak about their sexual identity when they are related to Palestine or to the Palestinian people.
Oh, so Palestinian gays shouldn't speak about being gay when they talk about Palestine.
فالفلسطيني المثلي الجنسي مش لازم يحكي عنها إنه هو مثلي لما.
Because talking about being gay, well, there's a bigger war or thing going on, is a higher issue.
What is?
Talking about, okay, if you bring up being gay in, their fights that they're having right now, the war that's going on, that kind of, derails from the war, about what they're really trying to do.
Right.
So you should not bring something like that up, because that's what you're saying. He's they shouldn't really be bringing up their gay.
Right, into a situation that really just doesn't apply.
Yeah.
Right. Like I said, this was 5 years ago, so that shows how long this has been just going on in this lifetime,
يحكي عن فلسطين.
True. Yes, he's nodding. Why? ليش
مش لازم يحكي انه هو فلسطيني؟
هو جاي فلسطيني.
هو جاي فلسطين؟
جاي فلسطيني.
لانه يعني المجتمع بتقبلش هاي الشغلات.
Because it's unacceptable in our society to be a gay.
في مجموعة في العالم بتدعم المثليين أو المثليين في فلسطين. شو رأيك فيهم هذول؟
طبعا هون فلسطين هذا يعني مش مقبول نهائيا. بفلسطين مش مقبول نهائيا.
Very unacceptable.
ما بنستقبل هذه يعني مثل هاي الحالات بنحاربها.
We don't like that and we are against it. Why?
مسيئة للإسلام ومسيئة لعادات.
Against the Islam and the traditions and customs.
وعادة مش منيحة نهائيا يعني هاي.
It's not healthy.
حتى أولادنا يتعلموها.
Even our children to learn it from them.
إنه إحنا الشعب الفلسطيني تعرف شو قضيتنا إحنا.
Because the Palestinian we have a cause and that's what affected.
Well, it's healthy for me. Don't translate that. What does it mean? Like, why would it matter if the gays support him or not? You're saying it's something negative that gays support Palestine? Like, why does that matter?
Do I need to ask him that?
Yeah, explain more. It's not clear.
انت حكيت انه الشيء هذا ممكن يصير القضية يعني. انت برايك انه هذا شيء يعني سلبي انه في ناس تدعم القضية بهاي الطريقة؟ انك تدعم هدول الناس وتدعم القضية بهاي الطريقة؟
طبعا شيء سهل. احنا قضيتنا يعني بتعرف شو قضيتنا؟ احنا فلسطين هي ارضنا وعرضنا. فهي الشغلات احنا ما بنستقبلها بالمجتمع اللي احنا، لان هاي راح تاثر على الجيل اللي بده يطلع انه يلحق الشغلات اللي مش مزبوطة.
Of course it's against the cause, the Palestinian cause, because our society would be ruined and young children will be following that lifestyle.
Oh, he thinks children would follow it if they saw it. Okay. There's a group called Queers for Palestine.
Yeah.
Okay, so you know them.
I am a very, very big supporter for the LGBTQ community.
See, I know my people. I know who we're talking
I
to.
love them. I have so many friends of them, and I think that they should eventually. I wish they can do this. I wish someday it will come true, and they will take the love they deserve. They will take the.
No, I'm saying that they support it. The question is, are you okay with them supporting Palestine?
Sure, I am with them, and I feel sorry for them actually. Not in a bad way, but in a way that I wish I can help. I wish I can do something like this. People in here, when they see that you are a supporter of their rights and their opinions and their actions, they don't like it. You instantly become a vulgar person, someone who does not believe in culture, someone who does not believe in all these things. But for me, difference is something that is
Okay, but there is a difference between difference in a way that, you might not follow everybody else, and a way that goes against every standard of how you're supposed to live.
It's just super excessive and stuff.
Yes.
It's like the consumerism that comes along with it too. You see all the stuff that is marketed and sold. All of that stuff is detrimental to the way these people live their life.
Exactly.
And so, the flamboyance of it, the color, all of this attention away from their God and put onto, onto a person.
Yeah.
All of it just doesn't jive well. So yeah, it just kind of shits on everything that they teach.
Exactly. And I mean, if you're going to follow certain religions, then you have to go off of what they say. It's like the gays that try to be Christians. You cannot be a Christian and be gay.
Right.
You can't.
There's a reason.
There is, yes.
It's like they might say, well, that's outdated.
But it works.
But yeah, something happened before that they saw that caused the calamity, caused the problem, and they said no more. And they've done that like 2 or 3 times in written human history.
Exactly.
Different cultures, different locations, most notably like the Greek. The Greek were
yeah.
really bad with that, and the civilization fell.
They collapsed, yeah.
Men were too soft, and women wouldn't conform.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, it's happened before. It's gonna happen again. I mean, it's funny to me. We've got all these solar flares lately. We're in the peak of it, and we go in.
The peak will be September.
Yeah, we're almost to the peak of our solar flares, and yet we have the Pride Month this month, and things were revving up right before Pride Month.
Yeah.
On the solar activity.
Yeah.
I haven't seen anything this last week.
Most recently, no. Like the very first couple of days, though, I was really scared because it was like day 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, and it was ramping up majorly. It's like,
there's a cycle to everything, and so even scientifically speaking, you talk about the cycles of the electromagnetic field, and when the sun comes around and screws with everything.
Yeah.
We have solar minimums and solar maximums, and you're right, we're at the peak of the solar maximum now.
Yeah.
Right?
And I just saw something that talked about Mars having the aurora effect on it from solar flares.
Yeah, so these things have been witnessed before and been written. This is just the easiest way to convey it.
Exactly.
And like I said, these people, they know, and they cling to that, and that's like, this is why they just don't allow it.
Yeah.
There is a reason.
And it's funny too, as far as most religions go. If you really look back at different religions, there's a very similar story to most of them.
Yes. Big cataclysms.
Yes.
Floods, fires, things falling from the sky. All around the same point at different points around the world.
Exactly.
Yeah. So there's definitely, this has happened before. And it seems to be like it is cyclic, because otherwise it wouldn't be so repetitive.
Exactly.
And I mean, we even had that Carrington event in our own most recent history, and nobody even talks about that. And
I know
that knocked out a bunch of
stuff. And if
stuff.
that happened in today's society, there would be a mass problem.
Yeah, we wouldn't be live streaming for a while.
And there wouldn't be, most cars would be out of commission.
I know, it all seems like it's by design, it's like they want everybody to go electric.
Yeah.
And then we have solar flares. And
we would be
a grid that's going to get fried,
We would be pretty well unscathed. We've got things in preparation just in case.
We just wouldn't be live streaming.
We wouldn't be live streaming for a while. We wouldn't be on the internet for a while. I don't know though, because ours is Starlink.
And I know that Musk has been preparing for this.
Yeah. So we might be okay. But, I don't know how many people would be okay.
Yeah, the basic electricity would still work. We have solar.
Yeah, and we've got our generator and stuff just in case.
Pretty much all we have to do is run water.
Yeah.
We're good. Before I continue, I had posted a short of one of their kittens. Right, it was when we were giving it the catitude, and it had the little curly tail and stuff. I just got a comment on it. It said, "Why does your dog look so malnourished?" I'm like, that is a kitten.
Wow.
That's why I kind of hesitated there for a little bit, because I was reading it and I'm like, what dog? And then I'm like, so I haven't responded yet. But yeah, go check that out. That's pretty
entertaining.
humorous. I'm going to pin that comment.
Wow.
I'm like, that is not a dog. And he looks ugly because he's a kitten and he's in that weird, ugly kitten stage. And he's also wild. So,
Do we need to turn on the...
Yeah.
The light?
So yeah, that's what happened there.
Oh, bright. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
You don't know how to work the ring light.
No, I don't. I don't know which one is supposed to be on.
That one's not too bad. Purples and oranges are your color. Same.
Thank you.
Same for me. Everything else makes us look dead.
Let's get on.
It exists, and if there were no difference in people on Earth, then we should not be alive. This is what makes us beautiful. This is what makes our land beautiful. This is what makes all the world beautiful. It's being different, being acceptable, and I think that no one should be judged. No one should be judged for that. No one's right should be taken because he's different or she's different. And besides, they are a very nice people actually. I have friends with them, and. One day, hopefully, I would walk in a bride actually. I would do it. Actually, this is a subject that people do not talk about. Even if they talk about it, they only talk about it in the clothes, between each other, because sometimes if the public saw that you are saying this or this is your opinion, it won't be fair. It won't to you. You will be.
Can you be public with your views?
Yes, I am.
And you are. Okay. And do you ever get in trouble?
Of course, my parents are not open. They are religious people, religious. They are very religious, and sometimes when we talk about this, and I say that I support them, I have so many friends of them. I always get in trouble for that, but I don't care. I think that even if I say my opinion, even if it's not good for
okay, she talks about wishing that they had the same type of rights, but then just look at what comes with those rights. Look at the shenanigans that they are pulling more and more.
Yeah, she hasn't been exposed to that side of it yet, or
Yeah.
she's just a modern woman. I don't know. It's kind of weird to see one like in that culture.
I know, it really
It
is.
does happen, I guess.
Yeah. But no, I mean, that's just really, they don't know what they're saying.
It was like I said, I had that post from 7 years ago where I posted as like I said I would always be an ally, and it had this like purple or this rainbow flower and
Yep.
everything, and talked about all these like, and everybody deserves the same rights, and I still believe that. If it's like if you're a human living in this country, then you should have the same rights as everybody else. Should have basic human rights, but it's like that's not what it is anymore. It is beyond.
Yeah, it is.
Rights. They elevate themselves above us.
Yes.
They say, queer people have magic and, all of this stuff,
I know.
that makes them seem like they think that they're better than everybody else. That's the problem.
It is. It really is.
And then, like I said, the consumerism that comes with it, everybody buying all the crap and, because it's not just them that's buying this stuff, it's allies that are buying stuff. And
Yep.
like I said, they can see that happening to the West and they don't like it.
I know.
But then you have people like this that are always going to be chinks in their chain.
Wishing, I wish that they had these rights.
You just don't know.
No, you don't.
I mean, maybe they don't deserve to be killed. I don't know. I mean, maybe they should just live with whatever. But
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, they feel this way for a reason.
And like for most religions, being gay in its own is not a problem.
Right.
You can be that. You can be attracted to the opposite sex. You can do this or that. It's the acts involved.
Right.
If they would just be okay with being with somebody, not getting intimate, but just being with them and being who they are.
Right.
That's a whole different story. They could live a religious life. They could live who they are.
Yeah, but it's like.
But it's the acts that go with it that make it the problem.
Yep. And that's the sin.
Yes.
That's the problem, and it's like there's because they can't, for the most part, keep that out of it. We have.
But I mean, even straight people have that problem, especially here in the West.
Well, it's exactly right. I mean, so I was thinking that with everything, it's like nobody is faithful within their relationships.
Well, and they're over lustful.
Yeah.
They just want to keep having it. They're over sexualized.
These girls that make it a goal to sleep with 300 men in like 1 month.
Exactly. I mean, that's part of their problem.
All sexual immorality.
All right, so there's a clownfish coming up. We're going to skip that, and we got 2 more to watch.
Hey guys, if you want to see more videos...
The 2 that are coming up are, I think one's about Pride in Israel this year.
Okay.
And what it was just a couple of years ago. Like I said, it's very accepting.
These, please don't...
We heard from a lot of you about our segment last night on Gays for Gaza. In fact, at many marches, you now see a combo version of the Palestinian and gay pride flags. To be clear, for example, this man, who's ripping off his clothes to show you a Palestinian flag, wouldn't last 5 minutes in Gaza. Being gay in Gaza does not work. Hamas throws suspected gays off buildings or drags them behind motorcycles. It's not just Gaza and the West Bank. A group beheaded this man, 25 years old, for being gay. That Gays for Gaza didn't march then. Iran hangs gays systematically. Imams both in the West Bank and Gaza call on Arabic TV channels, call for the murder of gays, and the irony is rich. Palestinians look at gays and Jews about the same way and talk about them about the same way. As we said, we heard from a lot of you about this segment. Author of God vs. Gay, The Religious Case for Equality, Rabbi Jay Michelson, perhaps looks at things a little bit differently than we did and joins us now to discuss it. Hi, Rabbi.
Hi, great to be here, Leland.
Yeah, thank you. I understand you may take a slight issue with my view of these things.
Well, I should state, kind of my bona fides. I definitely don't agree with some of the political positions that are being put forth by these kind of hard left LGBTQ organizations, but I don't quite condemn them in the same way that others might.
All right, this is look, there's a point to be made that the Palestinian people, and by that I mean innocent Palestinians, you lived in Israel for a long time, I did as well, and there is a group of people who just want a better life for their kids. They want to live in peace and harmony. There is that group inside both Gaza and the West Bank. At times it can be a small group, but it's there. I understand standing up for them. I get that, and I get at a time of heightened tensions that it's worth discussing. What I don't understand is the marches that we have seen, and we'll put up some of them, of the Gays in Gaza group marching and chanting. Take a listen.
Intifada, intifada, globalize the intifada.
All right, and then there was this one, From the River to the Sea. Take a listen. All right, and the banner says Gays for Gaza right there, and at the same time they're chanting for the destruction of the state of Israel. And I'm just wondering how to square that.
Well, let's take a step back. So again, first, it's kind of unusual because I'm defending a position I don't agree with, but just to give it its fair due. Yeah. Most LGBTQ people, we've been persecuted for who we are. And that leads to a certain kind of solidarity with other people who we think or who we perceive are being persecuted. So again, I have a different read of Israel-Palestine politics, but it is definitely the case that there are thousands of innocent Palestinians who've been killed already in Gaza. That doesn't say that the operation isn't justified. It just says that there are innocent people who are suffering. Yeah. As far as I understand it, I'm sure you can find a couple of radicals who are and that's their belief. At least the ones that I know are fully aware that Hamas is an Islamic fundamentalist organization that has no space for feminism, let alone LGBTQ equality. That being said, there are Palestinians who are people and who are the perception is that they're being oppressed and that they're being caught in the crossfire of this war.
I'll give you the last word. We got it 15 seconds. Wouldn't all those Palestinians who are being oppressed be better off without Hamas?
Yeah, sure, but that's not what the march is calling for. A ceasefire. The march is calling for people, and to me, I see it as a sign of integrity that a community is willing to stand up for people who won't stand up for us. The people who I know who are participating in these protests have a high degree of moral integrity, and even though I disagree strongly with their view, I see it as something that I admire.
All right. Well, fair enough. We always admire people.
Okay, now I try to stay neutral on the whole Hamas and Israel thing as much as I can, but I mean, if the community of Gaza, Palestinian people, were given fair warning to get out of there before any of this happened, I understand that Hamas was holding them hostage and that whole situation. But I mean, if the people cared that much for themselves, they should have stood up and said, we're not going to take this, and help get these people caught. Israel now is stuck in a fight that they have to finish and get rid of Hamas. If they don't get rid of Hamas, they're going to be stuck where they were the whole time.
Yeah, it's just smoldering.
Okay. Yeah, you just hear what I was saying?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Are willing to come on and have a conversation with us, whether they agree or not. Rabbi, thank you for the perspective. We appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.
What the hell is even that?
Brain.
אני רוצה שחבר הכנסת פינדרוס יסתכל לי בעיניים אחרי שהבן שלי נפל ויגיד את מה שאמר על הקהילה. ככה השמיע אורלי את הכאב, את הזעם של כולנו.
Community calls for the Israel hostages to be free.
Yeah.
So this is this year, right? This year.
Right now it's not really a celebration as it used to be. There's no floats with hundreds of thousands of people. Yeah, exactly. It's more of a gathering. Also of the gay people who died during the start of the war. So I think there's no reason to cancel something like that because, as I said, gay pride has always been a part of the political system and a part of social justice.
שלום ילדים.
ערכת הקפה המפורסמת עם הגזייה והמחבת מספרות על שעות של שמירות.
from all over the world to come and celebrate with us in Tel Aviv this year, next year. It is the best. Come to Tel Aviv! Wow!
It's important to show visibility and to make everyone know that it's normal, and to celebrate all the achievements that gays in Tel Aviv and in Israel achieved until now.
That's all I got.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
Alright, so yeah, we just had those two. The first one was this year's Israel Pride Parade.
No.
And then the last one was 2 years ago, you said?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you have the gays for Gaza when, they're not accepted.
Exactly.
But you have Israel that's very accepting.
Yeah, very, very accepting.
Very
and it said it right in there that there's gays that serve in the military for Israel.
It's crazy. I mean, I guess that happens here too.
And some parts of parliament.
Yeah, see, I don't know. But so, it still doesn't really matter if... I see exactly why the Islamic people have a problem with him.
Yeah.
But it still just comes down to, and politically, that it is Israel's land.
It is, yes.
And they were just using it for a while. So they should probably not be there. I've just always felt that way. It's like, I just don't know why you would still want to be there.
Yeah, I don't either.
But they must have their reasoning, so...
How long have we been going for?
Let's see. I think about an hour. It's 9 o'clock now. So,
do you want to watch the clownfish
yeah,
and
you
call
just
it?
finished up
Yep.
with the clownfish and...
אני רוצה שחבר הכנסת פינדרוס יסתכל לי בעיניים אחרי שהבן...
That way it's a little...
What the hell is even that?
Brainwashing comes in all shapes and forms. Forget about the mind-control sci-fi movies. It's happening all around you if you just open your eyes. And our first clip is a sad reminder to all of us that children are among the most common victims. As always, stick around to the end for the recap, this week's woke news, and much, much more.
Tell me why you're at Pride.
Because I'm transgender.
Do you want to share anything about your journey?
It was very tough.
Does your family make you feel supported?
Yes, a lot.
How old are you?
I am 7.
And how old were you when you discovered your identity?
I was 2 or 3 when I first noticed that I didn't feel comfortable with being a boy.
How did your child discover this identity? How did this come about?
So ever since she was little, she was always the princess, always. She sort of like every once in a while would mention ideas of like wanting to be a girl, of feeling more like a girl. And then she started asking to like socially transition about 1.5 years ago, and her school's been fantastic.
Your family, your friends, everyone like makes you feel supported and loved.
Except for my friends. I didn't tell them that yet.
Oh, wait, you want to be on the internet talking about it then?
Yeah.
Okay.
I hope to be famous one day.
Now don't ask me why the mother's wearing a helmet, though one might guess she just doesn't want her brain to fall out a second time. And just look at how often the girl looks over to her mother before answering the questions, almost as if to seek approval first. She doesn't actually understand a word she's saying.
Of course, because this is all called social conditioning.
Yep.
The parents always tell the kids what to say and what they need to be heard to, make their own, get their own self-validation out through the kid.
I know it's always the same kinds of parents too. The dad is either non-existent or barely there,
And the mother's always in charge.
And always like overweight and ugly.
Father's always a simp.
Yep.
When he's there.
Yep.
Next up, we'll see Grandma's not free from the brainwashing either. Take a listen.
How old are your granddaughters?
They are 6 and 8.
Would you support them to get hormone blockers to become the other gender?
I would absolutely support them to get hormone blockers. The idea of one of my granddaughters learning that they're going to start having their period if they don't get their hormones blocked, even though they're identifying and portraying as a male. How horrible that would be. So yes, definitely.
If your granddaughter came to you and wanted to get a tattoo, what would you say?
That would be more difficult. I always told my 3 sons the one thing I ask is please don't get tattoos.
Really? Why tattoos?
There's just something so permanent about it.
Permanent?
It's pretty permanent. It's very difficult to get them lasered off or removed.
You don't think it's like permanent to change your gender?
Exactly.
Now, I hate to say it, but I guess age doesn't always equate to wisdom. And if you don't think there are lasting effects to changing your gender, then boy, do I have news for you. With that being said, some folks not only believe changing genders has no lasting effect, but are also adamant that trans people are biologically identical to the sex they're transitioning into. Take a listen.
Okay, so this is gonna get a lot of people mad, but the harsh reality is that trans women are actually biologically women.
This is a load of barnacles.
I know it's like super shocking, but the most important sex-detaining organ in your body is actually your brain.
That's where you're wrong.
And there's a lot of research to show that trans women have brains that are very much in alignment with our gender identity. Whatever, man. Anybody who tries to call trans women biological males are coping and seething.
The land of make-believe.
Now, for someone who places so much importance on the brain as a gender-defining organ, he's definitely not showing any signs of having one. I don't even know whether to call this brainwashing or good old ignorance, and I'd love to hear these highly credible research papers he's talking about. But speaking of credibility, here's one reporter who's sold out so bad, she can barely string one honest sentence together. Take a watch.
The question I'm asking is, what is the expertise that you have and other Moms for Liberty advocates have to decide that a book, an award-winning book like All Boys Aren't Blue, isn't appropriate for students to read? What is your expertise?
What a tragic story of a young man who's raped by his adult family member. So you have incest, pedophilia. Joy, you said you'd let me answer, so I'm going to answer
Please
for you. In what context is a strap-on dildo acceptable for public school? That's my question to you. Tell me what the context around the strap-on dildo or the of a minor child by a teacher.
Hold on a second.
No, we're talking about public school.
One moment.
All right.
So now you've asked me a question.
Sure.
I'm going to answer it.
Okay.
Well, who is the main character? What's the name of the main character in All Boys Are Blue?
You're asking me right now.
You just gave me very specific information about this book, so you're presenting yourself as somebody expert.
It's the gentleman.
Hold on. Who's the main character in the book?
The main character is the author.
What's his name?
George, I believe is his first name.
Because you're giving me very specific information that is.
You're asking me to remember the name of an author.
You
the
just
name
remembered very
doesn't
specific.
Joy.
Here's my question.
We're talking about
Here's my question.
You didn't answer my question.
No. I'm going to answer.
Great. I would love to hear that.
Absolutely. Well, I'm interviewing you, and you're not interviewing me. So let's just make sure it's a conversation. Okay.
Great.
So what I'm saying to you is that as you are not an expert in this book,
I don't have to be an expert.
No.
Hold on a second. Aren't appropriate for public school.
Let's
get real.
Now, I don't know why you have to be an expert on the book to know what should or shouldn't be considered appropriate reading material for children. You always know when a crazy liberal's losing an argument when they start beating around the bush and resorting to personal attacks. But let's face it, brainwashing in education is everywhere. You can even see it in the degrees that college students are starting to major in.
Hi, my name is Nikki. I'm studying Latin American women in visual culture. Yeah. Hi, I'm Melanie. I'm studying the unseen body in creative spaces, erasure and exposure of the queer. Yeah.
Hey, I'm Nina, and I studied the arts, education, and social justice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm Joyce. I studied decolonial intimacies, indigenous politics, and resistance. Yeah.
Victoria and I studied remembering or forgetting, navigating international conflict through collective memory. Yeah!
Hi, I'm Yvonne, and I studied monstrosity, the self-altering praxis. Or should I say I created it? Yeah!
Hi, I'm Nunyala. I'm studying living artfully, art as ritual therapy and pathway to decoloniality.
Yeah! I'm Naomi, and I'm studying Black political. Yeah!
What?
Do you remember that movie with Justin Long when he created that school and they could just major in anything?
Yeah, whatever they wanted, yeah. That's exactly what this is. Yeah.
It's literally what this is.
It is.
It's like when
they're making it, because I created it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's that's literally what's happening here. Some low rent school has decided just to let them knows how much the world, and they're gonna fall flat on their face.
Oh, they will. Yeah.
I'm Natalie, and I'm studying fashion history and gender studies. Yeah! I studied phenomenological approaches to Black womanhood, specifically. My name is Marie, and my concentration is the radical disruption for survival, development in sub-Saharan Africa, through social anthropology. Hi, I'm Kira, and I study textiles and environmental justice. Yeah!
Textile justice.
Hi, I'm Ava, and I study woman, fugitive family, relationships, and identity. The transformative Black woman.
It's not a real thing.
So just remember these faces. You'll be seeing them very soon at your local Starbucks, turning the tablet around to charge you a 20% tip. At first, I honestly thought this was satire, but I realized NYU actually has programs for you to major in ridiculous degrees like this. But just when you thought it couldn't get any more embarrassing for the next generation, we have this lunatic.
Suspicion to believe that I was a horse in a past life, so let's test it out and eat some egg. Mmm!
That's straw. We don't typically feed straw to horses.
Now, I wouldn't be surprised if the dad's off crying somewhere. 10 years ago, anyone who identified as a horse would most definitely find themselves in a mental asylum, and you have to ask what on earth did the parents do wrong here. But to wrap up today's videos, here are people's surprise.
Okay, if you wanted to do this right, the way to do it would have been to, like, put the straw down and roll on it.
There you go. Paw, paw,
Yeah.
paw, sniff, sniff, roll.
Roll.
Get up, roll again.
Surprisingly mixed responses to the age-old question of who can get pregnant in 2024.
True or false? Only women get pregnant.
True.
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 Very true.
Absolutely true.
True or false? Only women get pregnant.
False. False. Because there are trans people that exist, and trans men can also be pregnant as well.
False.
And what are your pronouns?
They, them.
Now, something tells me the ratio of true to false answers will be a lot lower in a few years to come. It's clear science has left the minds of many of these folks, but I'm just glad there's still some people out there who aren't afraid to speak the truth on camera. And before we move on to the recap, I'm not sure how many of you remember a few years ago when Elon Musk famously spoke out about his communist transgender daughter. Basically, she severed ties with her billionaire father because, as Elon put it, she was infected by the woke mind virus and brainwashed into thinking anyone rich is evil, among many other things. This was actually one of the events that dominoed into Elon buying Twitter, and there's a lot more to unpack here. So Elon's daughter Vivian was sent to the Crossroads School for Arts and Sciences in Santa Monica, California. It was widely known that that school and plenty of other elite schools and liberal universities in California were being governed by neo-Marxists. And shortly after enrolling in the school, Vivian apparently cut all ties with her father over disagreements on things like pronouns, gender identities, and other woke issues. She even changed her legal name and gender on the day she turned 18 to remove any association between her and her father. And while there may be a lot more going on behind the scenes, I do think it's a common sight to see parents and children clashing over political views. I mentioned at the beginning that brainwashing comes in all shapes and forms. We've seen children get force-fed nonsense they don't understand, teenagers forced to study wildly inappropriate literature, college students majoring in the most useless and woke subjects, and all other sorts of other mindless behavior. But one of the most concerning parts of it all is the divide I see between parents and children these days, especially when the parents aren't buying into the woke ideology. I don't know if any of you experience that divide with your own children or notice it with your friends, but let me know in the comments. I think part of the brainwashing is teaching people to be ultra-sensitive to viewpoints that differ from what they've been taught, and to completely shut out anyone who might disagree with them. So if you don't like seeing a whole generation of people mindlessly consuming propaganda and turning into sheep, make sure to like and share this video. And as always, Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next episode.
Alright. That's all the mind-numbing material we have for today.
That's all I got. I'm going to pause it.
Yep. I'm going to go on to anything else. 11:11 out of 11:13.
I'm waiting to see what kind of an activist he wants to be.
Yeah, and then we'll sign off.
Either way, it was a good stream.
Yep. Thank you, Sancho, for joining us. Always welcome to do so. Two likes.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot, but even people have been coming in later, watching it later.
Yeah. Especially since some of our people are further away, so.
Yeah. At least it's cool now.
Yeah. Okay, now we gotta go in and finish everything up for the night and go to bed. So we can start over. Hopefully I can start getting better.
Alrighty then. Well, let us know next time. I think those are good and honorable goals either way.
Yep.
Just make sure that you find a good person to be with. It's going to lift you up and not drag you down.
Very much so.
And find an honorable cause.
Don't fall to these common Western women that are out there.
The 304s.
The 304s, yes. Yeah. So, right, and the chat room will stay up for a minute longer, so if he's typing something, we'll still see it. But thank you, Sancho.
Otherwise, we'll see you on
Have a great night, everyone.